Japanese watch brands are absolutely destroying Swiss luxury by making watches that work better, look just as good, and cost way less money than Rolex, Omega, and Tag Heuer. Seiko, Casio, and Citizen use smart technology like solar power, GPS satellites, and revolutionary movements that Swiss brands can't copy no matter how hard they try. People around the world are waking up and realizing they don't need to spend $10,000 on a Swiss watch when Japanese watches deliver equal or better quality for thousands less. From stunning dress watches to professional dive instruments to cutting-edge technology, these Japanese watches prove that Switzerland doesn't make the best watches anymore. Let's count down the 10 Japanese watches that are beating Swiss luxury at their own game.
Number 10. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 41.
The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time costs only $425, but has a dial so beautiful it looks like $5,000 Omega dress watches or expensive Swiss brands. The dial has multiple layers that create depth and visual magic, changing colors in different lighting like a fancy gemstone or hologram effect. Omega DeVille watches cost $5,000, $8,000 for similar dress watch styles. But the Cocktail Time's dial often looks more interesting and prettier overall. The automatic movement winds itself when you wear it, just like expensive Swiss watches, and you can see it through the clear back. The applied indices, raised markers, create shadows and depth that make the watch look three-dimensional and super high quality when you examine it. The exhibition case back lets you watch all the gears moving inside, which is mesmerizing and cool to look at during boring classes. Tag Heuer dress watches cost triple the price, but don't have dial finishing as beautiful or interesting as this affordable Seiko cocktail watch. Kids understand this like getting a really pretty art piece that also tells time perfectly, versus a boring expensive clock that just looks plain.
Number 9. Citizen Eco Drive ProMaster Diver BN0151.
The Citizen ProMaster Diver costs under $300, but does the exact same diving job as $6,000 Omega Seamaster or $9,000 Rolex Submariner watches. All three watches can safely dive 200 meters underwater, which means they meet the same professional diving safety standards for scuba diving use. The Citizen uses solar power that charges from any light and runs forever, while Omega and Rolex need expensive servicing costing $800, $1,000 every few years. The blue and black colors look just as cool as Omega Seamaster, and the glow-in-the-dark stuff often shines brighter than expensive Swiss watches. Professional dive instructors and scuba divers actually use this cheap Citizen for real underwater work instead of expensive Swiss watches that cost 20 times more. The ISO certification means it passed the same official safety tests as Rolex and Omega, proving all three watches are equally safe for diving. Tag Heuer Aqua Racer dive watches cost $3,000 plus, but don't offer better diving capability than this $280 Citizen that works just as well underwater. Kids get this like both game controllers playing games equally well. Why pay way more for the expensive one when both work the same?
Number 8. Casio Oceanus OCW T200S.
The Casio Oceanus costs $1,600 and receives radio signals from atomic clocks worldwide, keeping more accurate time than any $10,000 Rolex or Omega. The titanium construction is super light and comfortable, and it's polished so perfectly it looks like a liquid mirror or melted chrome. Rolex Datejust watches cost $10,000 and lose several seconds per day, while this Casio literally never loses time because atomic signals fix it constantly. The solar charging means zero maintenance forever, while Swiss luxury watches need expensive servicing every 5-7 years costing thousands of dollars total over time. The sapphire crystal never scratches, the titanium never shows wear marks, and the watch always looks brand new even after years of daily wearing. Tag Heuer Carrera watches cost $5,000 plus, but can't keep more accurate time than this Casio because atomic signals beat mechanical movements always. The Bluetooth phone connection provides modern features that old-fashioned Swiss watches can't offer at any price point or luxury level whatsoever. Kids understand this like having a watch that gets updates from space towers versus old watches needing manual fixing technology wins easily. Number 7. Seiko Prospex Alpinist SPB 121. The Seiko Alpinist costs $700 and has a working compass built into the watch, while $7,000 Rolex Explorer has nothing useful except looking plain. The gorgeous green dial looks way cooler than boring black Rolex sports watches that all look identical and uninteresting to everyone who sees them. The 200-meter water resistance beats Rolex Explorer's weak 100-meter rating, making the cheaper Seiko actually tougher for water activities and swimming.
Tag Heuer Altavia watches cost $5,000 for adventure watch styling, but don't include actual useful features like compasses for real outdoor navigation. The automatic movement winds itself and shows through the clear back, letting you see all the mechanical magic happening inside the watch.
The compass bezel actually works with real compasses to help you navigate in the woods when you're lost without phone signal or GPS. Omega doesn't make adventure watches with compasses because they can't compete with Seiko's practical outdoor features at reasonable prices, honestly. Kids get this like having a Swiss Army knife with tools versus an expensive knife that just looks pretty but has no useful features.
Number 6. Citizen Atesa Satellite Wave F950.
The Citizen Atesa Satellite Wave costs $2,400 and receives GPS signals from actual satellites in space for perfect time everywhere on Earth automatically. Rolex GMT Master 2 costs $10,000 and needs manual adjustment every time you travel, while this Citizen automatically knows what time zone you're in. The Super Titanium case has special coating making it 5 times harder to scratch than steel Rolex watches that show damage quickly. The Perpetual Calendar knows the correct date through year 2100 without you ever fixing it, while Omega watches need monthly date corrections forever. Tag Heuer connected smartwatches cost $1,800 and need charging every day, while this Citizen charges from light and runs forever without plugging in. The sapphire crystal and premium finishing look just as good as Swiss luxury watches costing double or triple this reasonable price. The automatic time zone changing beats any mechanical GMT watch from Switzerland because GPS literally knows exactly where you are on Earth. Kids understand this like having a phone that automatically knows the time versus setting clocks manually automatic is way smarter and easier.
Number 5. Casio G-Shock MRGB 5000.
The Casio G-Shock MRGB 5000 costs $4,000, but survives anything that would completely destroy $10,000 plus Rolex, Omega, or Tag Heuer luxury watches. This premium G-Shock is made from titanium with special hardening, making it basically indestructible, no scratches, dents, or damage from anything you do. The watch receives atomic radio signals for perfect time, while Swiss mechanical watches lose seconds every day needing constant adjustment and regulation. The solar charging runs forever without maintenance, while Swiss luxury watches need $1,000 plus servicing every few years for the rest of your life. The sapphire crystal and mirror-like polishing prove G-Shock can make luxury-looking watches when they want to show their premium capabilities. Rolex Day-Date watches cost $36,000 plus and break easily from drops or hits, while this G-Shock laughs at damage and keeps working perfectly. Tag Heuer luxury watches can't survive rough treatment without expensive repairs, while the MRGB $5,000 is built for actual tough use daily. Kids get this like having armor that's also super fancy and pretty. You get both protection and style together. Number 4. Seiko Prospex LX SNR 049. The Seiko Prospex LX costs $6,200 and uses spring drive technology with 600-meter dive rating that beats most Swiss luxury dive watches completely. The spring drive makes the second-hand glide perfectly smooth like magic, which no Rolex or Omega can do at any price point. The 600-meter water resistance is double what Rolex Submariner offers, making this Seiko way tougher for actual professional diving work and operations. Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean costs $9,000 with only 600 meters too, but doesn't have revolutionary spring drive technology that Seiko invented exclusively. The titanium construction with special coating stays looking brand new forever, while steel luxury watches show scratches and damage quickly from normal wearing. The exhibition case back shows the beautiful spring drive movement that Swiss brands cannot copy or replicate no matter how hard they try. Tag Heuer doesn't make dive watches with spring drive because they don't have the technology. Only Seiko created this revolutionary invention worldwide. Kids understand this like having a car that drives smoother than any other car because it has better engine technology nobody else has. Number 3. Citizen Eco Drive 1 AR 5026. The Citizen Eco Drive 1 costs $2,800
and is thinner than smartphones at only 6 mm in total thickness. Absolutely impossible seeming engineering. Swiss ultra-thin watches from Piaget cost $20,000 $30,000 for similar thinness, but need daily winding, while Citizen charges from light and runs forever. The 1 mm movement inside is so thin, it seems like magic or science fiction-like, fitting a whole car engine into a coin-sized space. The super titanium never scratches and stays perfect forever, while expensive Swiss watches in precious metals show damage easily from normal life. Omega doesn't make ultra-thin solar watches because they can't achieve Citizen's engineering excellence and revolutionary innovation at all. The watch runs 6 months in complete darkness after charging, way longer than any mechanical Swiss watch that stops after 2 days. Tag Heuer has no ultra-thin watches because they focus on chunky sports watches and can't compete with Citizen's dress watch engineering. Kids get this like having the thinnest, lightest tablet ever that also has the longest battery life. That's just smart engineering winning. Number 2. Grand Seiko Snowflake SBGA 211. The Grand Seiko Snowflake costs $5,800 and uses spring drive, making the second hand glide smoothly like flowing water or butter melting. Rolex Datejust costs $10,000 $15,000 with ticking movement that looks jerky and old-fashioned compared to spring drive's smooth flowing motion. The watch keeps time accurate to 1 second per day, while Rolex loses 4-6 seconds daily even with expensive chronometer certification. The textured dial looks like fresh snow on Japanese mountains. Way more beautiful than boring plain Rolex dials everyone has seen. The polishing is so perfect it looks like a liquid mirror. Honestly better than Rolex finishing that costs double the price. Omega doesn't have spring drive technology because Seiko invented it exclusively and Swiss brands cannot copy it at all successfully. Tag Heuer mechanical watches cost $5,000, but tick instead of glide and lose way more time than this perfect spring drive. Kids understand this like watching a super smooth video versus choppy video. The smooth one just looks and works way better. Number 1. Grand Seiko White Birch SLGH005. The Grand Seiko White Birch costs $9,800 and absolutely destroys Swiss luxury watches, costing $20,000 $30,000, with better everything possible. The brand new high beat movement has 80-hour power reserve that Swiss brands took years longer to achieve in their own watches. The textured dial looks like white birch tree bark, creating stunning three-dimensional effects that Rolex, Omega, and Tag Heuer cannot replicate successfully. The case polishing is so perfect it looks like liquid mirror. Actually better than $15,000 Rolex or $10,000 Omega finishing quality. Watch collectors examine this and can't believe the finishing beats Swiss luxury watches costing double or triple the price completely and totally. The exhibition case back shows hand-beveled edges and decorations, making Swiss movements look lazy and unfinished by comparison throughout details. Rolex Day-Date costs $36,000 with basic old movement, while White Birch has revolutionary new movement for 1/4 the crazy price. Omega doesn't compete at this level because Grand Seiko's mechanical watchmaking excellence now surpasses Swiss luxury in every measurable way. Tag Heuer can't touch this quality level because they focus on marketing over actual watchmaking excellence and innovation like Grand Seiko.